I'm sorry, but this is not what I'd call an event. Now, before you all think I'm hating on Techland, let me start by saying that if you all know me, you'll know I'm a big fan, and my whole channel would be nothing if it wasn't for Dying Light. Covering the regular community events was how I became a Dying Light YouTuber, and I'm really grateful for that. But I can't be the only one who thinks this so-called booster event is a bit of a letdown. Okay, so the double XP weekend that kicks it all off is something we saw regularly on the original game. But the big difference with Dying Light 2 is that there's only 2 skill trees and no legend levels. Now, I know the original game didn't launch with legend levels either, but really the only reason people loved the old double XP events was because you'd gain an advantage when trying to obtain max legend levels, which if you didn't cheat would have taken a long time to achieve. As yet, there's nothing like that in Dying Light 2, so anybody who's already maxed out their character will have absolutely no reason to come back to the game this weekend. And it's only really going to benefit those who are still working on their parkour and combat levels. But I guess if you were going to compare this one to the rest of the month, it's probably the only one that might remotely qualify as an event, because let's face it, the rest of them are simply nothing of the sort. I mean, when I saw that May would see the first of the events for Dying Light 2 on their roadmap, I honestly thought that we'd be getting an actual community event with global goals, personal bounties, as we did in the original game. There's no mention of any community aspect to these booster events at all, so taking part means nothing if there's not going to be a challenge that we can all get involved in together for some cool reward at the end of it. The thing that made these events in the original game was the community aspect. There was always a challenge that would give some real in-game rewards for your efforts too. Gold weapon blueprints, king mods, or a weapon from a DLC bundle. They were all incentives to get involved. And all we seem to be getting here for the next 2 weekends is a few tweaks that make farming for valuables a little bit easier, which again means nothing to someone who's already got the best gear. And then we have the Hyper Mode to finish the month off, which of course is great fun and people rightly love it. However, Hyper Mode on the original game was a feature that made achieving the community targets more fun to get involved in, and not the main event itself. I mean, I may be wrong here, but in this trailer it looks as though Hyper Mode is all we're gonna get. I mean, I'm sure that'll be fun to try out for maybe half an hour tops, but that's gonna get tiresome pretty quickly if there's no reason or reward for it. So if this is what they had planned all along, then I'm genuinely shocked, to be honest, but maybe they ran out of time given that they had a lot on their plate fixing bugs and adding New Game Plus. And again, on that front, don't get me wrong, I appreciate all of their efforts in trying to deliver a better end game experience. I just can't pretend that I'm in any way impressed by this so-called event. I mean, they could have had a ton of fun with this if they'd have done something like the low gravity event with some aliens running around, or at the very least, the possibility of getting their hands on a rare and powerful weapon as an incentive to get involved. Of course, there's always the possibility that they are planning to do this stuff after all, and they're just keeping the details a secret, but I can't help thinking that I'm right, and that this really is all there is to it. So what do you think? Is this month of events going to bring you back to the game, or is it a bit of a damp squib? Am I wrong to be disappointed with it, or do you agree that it is a bit of a letdown? Let me know in the comments as always, and if you enjoyed the video then please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.